Okay, so we're gonna do this again. Last time I didn't realize my mic wasn't on. So we're gonna go through this application again. So where we are is on page one. And page one is a 1 and 2 family residential permit application checklist. The great thing about the Community Development Department for the Building Construction Division in Charlotte County, Florida, is they have this wonderful checklist of how to get things accomplished. I am told often by many persons, I'm not going to name any groups, starts with B, ends with S, that it takes over a year to deal with permitting. I am not going to put the wonderful person I spoke with in permitting on blast. However, I was told by them 5 weeks. So if you go by their 5 weeks and you go by, since we're choosing PCF Home as the vehicle to build this home, by our proposed time to build of 90 days, then you figure 90 days plus, let's see, 5 weeks is 435, 125. So that's like 4 months. So everybody else is saying a year, we're saying 4 months. I had a discussion with some people, started with H. And well, actually, I wasn't even able to talk to the people who started with H, ended with S. Instead, I was attempting to beg and plead the people starting with A, ending with S, that we can actually build the home in the period of time they were asking, could it be built? It's not our fault that we've actually figured out a way to not build improperly, but however, build properly in a different time frame. Just imagine this. If you're building a home and you have to put each each 2x4 up, and then after you frame that up, then you have to add drywall to it. Of course, that's going to take more time than if you put up the whole wall and then you cover the wall with concrete. So in our case, you put up a whole styrofoam, steel mesh wall that is insulated with polystyrene, and then you cover that wall with concrete. So of course, or shotcrete. So of course, it's going to take you less time to build. So on this first page is the actual checklist and goes through the owner building disclosure statement, the notice of commencement, subcontractor worksheet, the fire hydrant affidavit, the sewer septic affidavit, the sewer septic system permit, the public utility affidavit, the surveys, the tree preservation, the site plans, the drainage plans, 1 and 2 family data summary sheet, the building plans, product approvals, trust layouts, energy forms, new residential utility service application, and a pre-application fee. All this is on the first page. And these are the things you all have to deal with if you decide to build your own home, as opposed to having a general building contractor, or in this case, calling PCF Home to have your home built. Next page is the 1 and 2 family residential permit application. This is where job site details are filled out, as well as the owner information, contractor information. Our next page is the owner building disclosure statement. This is where the owner or the builder, owner and builder sign off on what is being done for the home. And this is where the owner signs off that they're going to let the general building contractor handle all of that, or signs off that they're actually going to be the one handling all of that. This is the first page for the owner building disclosure statement. This is the second page. And then check those contractor categories below, which will be done by the owner. So if the owner is handling any of these things, the owner would check off on it. Like, the owner might, in this case, we would be handling most of this through PCF Home. We would not, well, of course, the cement, the concrete, and the masonry. However, ceramic, marble, yeah, actually we would, because that would be inside the house. As far as the landscape and irrigation, it depends on exactly how in depth. Because if you're talking about the actual landscape irrigation and the that we would have to discuss that, because that could actually get into you discussing certain things you want done, and that's where we would check off on the other box and go more into depth into either any of these categories, or just sign off. This is the owner builder signature where they sign off, and then we're going to our next page, which would be page 4 on this, and or actually our next page would be page 5, which would be the notice of commencement, stating that the building will be going forth and building sometime soon, where the general building contractor fills out their information. The owner fills out their information is filled out there, and they sign off. And then the next page is our subcontractor worksheet, where the various subcontractors that are filled in here. We have our general building contractor who does the main, and then the subcontractor who is either, in our case, could be, but it will not be. Sometimes it might be the actual general building contractor's crew. However, we actually have crews that work this outside the general building contractor. Our next page would be our affidavit for fire hydrants and where they're located, as well as public water service. Our next page would be the sewer disposal and water affidavit, where the owner states their name, the contractor's name is stated, the name of the utility company or area is stated, if there are public sewers available or if not, or if there will be an on-site sewage disposal system actually installed. This is the water availability, whether it's public water available, or rather, will there be well water installed? Just simple permitting, not that in depth. However, the one benefit is if you have your general building contractor do it or handle it, or a company like PCF Home with a general building contractor who handles it, then you don't have to be concerned about all that. You just basically sit back and wait for your home to be built in 3 or 4 months. I'll say 4 or 5 months. Let's stretch it a little bit. Over promise. Was it under promise? No, under promise, over deliver. Yes, over deliver, under promise. Yes, correct. And let's see, this is the 1 and 2 family dwelling data summary sheet. This is where you learn of all the great things that are going in your home. They're above code. In our case, our homes have been above code for over the last 40 years. Ready, prepared for Cat 5 hurries. A Cat 5 hurry is a Category 5, potentially ready for a Category 5 hurricane. We've actually had homes that were built. Coincidentally, we also have homes. President Carter believed in our homes. We actually have there's footage of President Carter building this style of home. Let's see, and this is actually shows what in this area what your home's limits of build are, what their windows are meant to stand up for, the doors are meant to stand up for in the various areas. Then we go down to our next page. In this case would be page 11. And this is the Charlotte County Utilities form where all the various information is filled out here for Charlotte County Utilities. Basically, just the top, pretty much just legal description of the area, and then it's filled out by the actual office handling it. Then this is where the Charlotte County tree permit application, which is somewhat handled in between our general building contractor and our tree removal company, which is separate from our general building contractor, although supervised by our general building contractor. General building contractor basically does for you what you don't feel like doing, which is basically having to schedule and talk to everyone and schedule being this removed and that removed and this right and this permitting right and this, that, and this. That is one of the benefits of when you actually hire companies such as PCF Home that has a general building contractor to handle that for your home build. Going on to our next page, which shows the species and the actual caliper. Caliper inch or per caliper inch is the actual diameter of trees. So if you have a tree that has 12 caliper inches, that means it has a diameter of 12 inches, and it would have to be notified, or the state or the county would have to be notified. Anything above 4 inches has to be actually cataloged and mentioned in the actual cut. In the space below the tree with the diameter of 4 inches or greater, so you have the permit fee is you have to pay $1 per caliper inch of trees to be removed. In the space below, listed trees with a diameter of 4 inches or greater, and palms with 6 or more feet of clear trunk to be removed. That's why you want to have professionals remove your trees as well, because you do not want to catch a tree fine. So the next the next page, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Okay. The next page is I pledge allegiance to the flag. To the flag. I don't even know where that came from. Okay. It must be getting a little interesting. So, and guess that's must be where I'm going. My next trip. Let's see. And the tree permit application. This is where you fill it out. Well, actually, the basis of it is where the property owner gives their consent regarding the actual tree permit application. And the last page is the actual drawing up of where the septic area might be. Actually, this is amazing because this is pretty much set up the way our house is. This will be the driveway. This is how our garage is. This is the front doorway. Oh, it's actually the front window for the one of the bedrooms, and the actual walkway goes right about here. This drawing is almost perfect, except the only difference is that there's this part is open right here, and there's a little walkway right here, and the door sets right about right here. So this is where the septic area will be installed, and back here is where we would more than likely install the well water, which would be back here in the corner, 80 or more feet as far away from possible as the septic area. So this is the paperwork that our wonderful, loving general building contractor would be so happy to actually fill it out when we're ready to build or when you're ready to build. And we're so excited and looking forward to building. So this is W.A. Boykin II doing another episode to pick the person to build your home. Thank you. Or actually pick the person. And since we already picked the person, we were doing the permitting for the application. Till next time, thank you. This is W.A. Boykin II with Smart Home New Construction and doing permitting. Have a good day. Have a good week. Have a good life.